Thanks to Deputy O'Brien for bringing forward the motion. Anything that gives us an opportunity to highlight the housing crisis and the plight of renters in this case is very, very welcome, and I support overwhelmingly the thrust of the motion. I mean, honestly though, the government's attempts, Minister O'Brien's and Deputy Devlin's attempts to defend the government's position and their counter motion are really just threadbare in the extreme. I mean, a few weeks ago I described the LDA legislation as a heist where the government had opened the door to not just that the private developers and speculators would control the private market, but they were now opening the door to the entire public land bank for it to be plundered by private financial interests. And I pointed out as part of that the references to setting affordable prices and rents subject to local market conditions meant they wouldn't be affordable. Now, with the affordable housing scheme, my worst fears are absolutely confirmed. I mean, what planet are you lot living on? 450,000 in Dublin and Dún Laoghaire, affordable. You need an income of about €120,000, right? The average wages in this country are 39,000, right? So single person, forget it. Nowhere, no, you haven't got a chance, right? Rents, similarly the legislation says market rents, local, not even average market rents, local market rents. In my area, local market rents are between 2 and 3 or even 3,500. And so you're suggesting the cost rental will be a discount on the local market rents? It's a joke. Right? The only people, therefore, what's going to happen, and what is happening, is the cuckoos come in, they buy all the blocks, they lease them back to the council who are paying an absolute extortionate fortune. They make a fortune paid for with taxpayers' money, and in 25 years they feck off, and they've made a fortune, and people are put out, as is what's happening with HAPS. It's really quite extraordinary. I cannot believe Shanganagh is mentioned as a positive example. Shanganagh was handed over for for public housing by a Fianna Fáil PD government at the time in 2006. Since then, we've had Fianna Fáil in government, we've had Fine Gael in government, we've had Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael in government, and not a sod has been turned. And now we discover that the affordable housing and cost rental on it are going to be subject as a benchmark against local market rents and prices, which are the highest anywhere in the country. It's flippin' unbelievable. In Cherrywood, the biggest, also in my constituency, the former NAMA land, NAMA Fianna Fáil construct, handed over to private developers who are now building 4 blocks of build-to-rent apartments. I met the developers myself, and they told me it was costing them $400,000 per unit to build, and that every single one of them are being sold to a Dutch state pension fund. So even the Dutch understand that their state should invest in public housing, but they're doing it here because our state won't do it. It won't build its own affordable housing and public housing that is genuinely affordable. It's just beyond shocking. When that's up in Cherrywood, originally when 15 million of LEHA funding was given to pay for the infrastructure, public money, we were promised that 40% of all housing built with that money would go for affordable housing, and that the affordable housing would be no more than €300,000. Within weeks, that had disappeared. There was no 40%. There was no any percent. In fact, we don't know what percentage of affordable housing. And yesterday, the Minister tells us that affordable housing has now gone from 300,000 a few years ago to 450,000. And how is affordability affordable based on people's income if it's 450,000 cap in one area, 400,000 in another area, 350,000 in another area, 300,000 in another area, 225,000 in another area? It's got nothing to do affordability. Do you think people get different wages depending on whether they live in Leitrim or Dunleary? It's just disgraceful.
Thank you.